good to go.
All right, we good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. I guess I'll start. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Today I'll be making Spanish rice today. I have the finished product right here. You guys can see. So that's Spanish rice. So right now on my table, I have all the ingredients that we need. So I have tomato, onions, and garlic. All right here. And then I have salt as well with oil. And then this kind of seasoning, caldo de pollo. I'm pretty sure everyone has, a good majority of us have used that in some case. And then in the middle, I do have a pot of hervido, which is heated up pollo, chicken. So that gives it the flavor for the Spanish rice. And of course, my rice. So before that, like I said, my name is Jesse. Welcome to the show. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna heat up my pan with oil, which is over here because my stove is right here. But other than that, Helen would like to start with questions. She can.
Yes. Hi, everyone. So thank you all for coming to the show. My name is Helen Martinez, and I serve as your ASI Vice President. Jesse will be kind of helping us make the Spanish rice, and I'll be making some questions to get to know Jesse as well. Yes. So we're going to start off with, so what do you do in the ASI that you want to explain in regards with programming and things like that?
So I am a program specialist for ASI. One of the many challenges of being a program specialist is there's a lot of things actually. But I think my difficult challenge that I've overcame while being in the team is just making connections and getting out of your comfort zone. And you have to do things like that. You have to make calls, you have to step out of the office, start networking. So yeah, that's one of the challenges I overcame because I was a little bit timid before I got into the office. But with the coworkers and colleagues that I work with, they really helped me out to step out of that comfort zone. So ASI has really brought me a lot of opportunities for networking and starting business and just organizing events, teaching me how to be more organized as well. But for example, the show helped me prepared my whole table, lighting equipment, and other things. So I'm grateful for being a program specialist. Okay, so what I did actually, I put 3 tablespoons of oil just to heat up beforehand. So what you're gonna do next is you have your dry rice, and you're gonna put that in the pan, and you want to keep on stirring it until it's cooked to golden brown. You don't want to burn it. So Ellen, I have a question for you. As the ASI Vice President, what was the most challenging thing for you that you overcame?
That's a great question. I think the most challenging that I've overcome in my position is kind of balancing my academics and also being a student leader on campus. I think that looking good. I think that
Go ahead.
You have to keep up your grades in order to serve as a student leader as well. So just finding the time and place to do work on my academics and be a student first is kind of a challenge. So I was able to balance that.
It's true too, because for me, I have 2 jobs. So balancing everything out, it's definitely a challenge. It's just time management that I had to do too, which was another challenge for me. Making a whole list, making a planner, and then like doing some things in that exact time, it's pretty difficult. So I totally agree with you on that part.
Oh, I have a question for both. Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What's your biggest accomplishment within being a part of ASI?
Ooh. I'll let Helen go first because I have so many.
I would say my biggest accomplishment being in ASI would be, well, as a vice president, I kind of work in different committees and being involved on campus and stuff like that. So I would say being, what is it? Question. I would say being, now that our campus is more student-led, I would say like the different committees I served on kind of gave us the opportunity to distribute funds to certain departments. So kind of being able to prioritize student needs would be like the challenging part and something that was accomplished this year.
And I would like to agree on that. You know, for me, I want to push myself. Well, it's kind of the opposite of like Helen, but the same question, same answer. What I want to do is, you know, join committees and organizations and like step my my foot at the door. Like for example, I know you have the garden committee. Which I've been trying to like, you know, be involved as much as possible. With the whole quarantine, unfortunately, you know, we can't be at the garden. And I know your garden is doing great at the moment.
Yeah, actually, I was looking at some other schools that are doing, they have like a sustainability committee, and they have like UCR, they have like a huge garden, like big, like acres. And they were talking about how they're doing like a Zoom gardening where like they'll plant a seed while talking with students about different like plants they're like planting within the beds and stuff. And I was like, ooh, I'm gonna tell our committee and be like, hey, can we do this? This is something that sounds cool. But yeah, I'm excited for that. Next year, I think we have a lot of things to look forward to too. Like this gives us more opportunities to see like what's available and what interests you, and like it's a good time to reflect.
Oh, it is. And like we have a lot of time to reflect since we're stuck in quarantine, unfortunately. So another question for Helen. How has quarantine affected you? And first of all, how are you doing in quarantine? But other than that, following with that question, like how has quarantine affected you?
Thank you for asking. I think a lot of us students, like it's hard for us to go fully online, especially those students that, you know, appreciate social interaction and human contact. So for me, it's kind of difficult trying to navigate things online, especially academics, trying to study and then also work online. So I'm already getting used to that online experience, but definitely there's a lot of improvement to make along the way.
Which I get on that. And specifically,
how about for yourself? I know you're a graphic designer.
Yeah, especially with that, because I'm working on 2 degrees at the moment. So with you know, with musical theater and then with graphic designing, you know, you have to be in present to show your performance or your work. Well, it's a good thing. I'm finishing up one of my degrees, which is musical theater. So I only have 1 class left for that one, and then I'll be completely done. But for graphic designing, it's a little bit more difficult. Like I said, like before, like I'm doing my professional portfolio, which you know, it's great to have a professor right there in person. But we're making it work out, you know, with Zoom meetings, like personal Zoom meetings with my professor. So that's great.
And then Jesse, can you show us like how the pot looks like from the inside so we can see how the rice was cooked?
Sure. Give me 1 second. So before we started, it looked like this. This is raw rice. Don't know if you guys see that. Raw rice. And then now it's getting a little bit golden brown. So it looks more like that. Don't know if you guys can see. Maybe, there you go. Oh, there we go, okay. So it's starting to get a little bit golden brown, and that's where you want your rice to be before you put in your sauce in, which is basically tomato sauce. And this is why I have the ingredients, which are onions, garlic, and tomato. So what I have is just 1 whole tomato, and then 1 whole onion, and then about 4 cloves of garlic. So later on, we're gonna put that in the blender, and we're gonna, mix it up. And then that's like our water that we're gonna use basically for the rice. Yeah, it for when you're cooking rice, the dry rice, it should take about 10 minutes on a medium flame. So it shouldn't be too high, otherwise you're gonna start burning it, and you'll know when you start burning it once you smell it, because I've done it before. And afterwards, when you cook the rice, the whole process should take around 20 or 30 minutes. It depends on how you want it. There's some Spanish rices that you could just only put water. But like I said, I have heated up chicken, the skin of the chicken. So that gives it more flavor to the rice. So it's you can tell the difference, whether if it's flavored or not. And also, that's why we have our seasoning too, the carne de pollo.
Jesse, I have a question.
Sorry, shoot.
How did you get this recipe? Is it something you found, or is it a family recipe, or?
Actually, it's actually from my mom. She's actually behind the camera. And she introduced me this recipe. She's been cooking it ever since as long as I could remember. So yes, it is a family recipe. At my work, we make regular white rice. So it's very, very different. You have white rice, and then you have flavored white rice, and it's very different, very different.
It's funny because when I went vegetarian again, I was struggling because I missed my family's Spanish rice so much because they would put the pollo seasoning, and I'm I can't have that. And so I would put I guess Trader Joe's has this new chickenless vegan seasoning, and it tastes exactly like it. I don't know what magical stuff they put in it. I don't know if it's the special spice or seasoning that they put in it, but it tastes you could still tell, but I mean it tastes kind of very similar to it. So I've been, and I know exactly how the process is. So I'm okay, this is how I gotta timely do it. You gotta make sure you have enough water, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of people do struggle with cooking rice because sometimes you either add too much water or you put little water. It comes out raw, or it comes out too mushy, and the texture tastes weird. So a best thing that I do to measure water is that you could put your fingertip on the water, and if it's above the first line of your first crest of that, then it's at a good measurement. But and another way is you could put your hand in it as well, and if the water is above the wrist, then it's at a good measurement too. So you don't want it to be too high, because then that'll be too much water, or if it's too low, then it'll be little water. So those little good tips to know if you're adding too much or
give me all your tips. I need them. I'm okay at cooking, but I wish I was better. I burnt store-bought cookies the other day, you guys. I don't know how. I know, I do know how. I put them on the lowest shelf in the oven when you're not supposed to, because it gets the most heat. And I was just, I don't know. That's my worst failure right now. I'm really sad about it.
Well, that's
Rice
the
has
learning
always been
process,
a
right?
struggle for me.
What was that, Linda?
I said rice has always been like a struggle. Like it took me a while to like find the perfect measurements and like what I need to do to like cook it right.
I realized that I'm not as talented as my mom and my grandma of just like eyeballing how much water and rice I could put in. Like I actually have to use a measuring cup. I can't just solo it, you know?
That's
Yeah,
the
I
learning
remember
process,
when
right?
I
So
first started making it too. Like my would come out like too mushy. So like you know, at the moment I didn't know I was adding like so much water. But you know, learning that tip at where I work at, it helped me out a lot.
What's your guys' other favorite meal to cook? Like if you're craving something that reminds you of home.
I would like to say arroz con pollo. You know, it's very simple. You know, just to name it, it's simple itself. And it includes like of course Spanish rice. Because the Spanish rice is just a side dish, right? But it could also be like your main base of the dish as well. So you know that for example, arroz con pollo. You know, you have your pollo in the middle, and then you have your arroz around it. So it's for me that's like the quick easy meal for me to go to meal. So
I went to a Greek place recently too in Chicago, and I realized that I don't know if it's just different ethnics their cultures that they use like certain things as like a go-to side dish, but they had a lot of rice with like tomato sauce with theirs. So I thought it was interesting that, you know, they do it kind of differently but similar to ours. Like it was cool seeing the comparisons from like my family recipe to theirs. Sorry, Helen, you go for it.
No, you're fine. And that's the beauty of cooking and food, that there's no right way to do it. There's different ways to do it. So definitely, as for me, I like the Cuban papas rellenas. So I know I want to make a tutorial in the future with that. But that reminds me of home.
all right, so I'm gonna show you guys real quick the finished product for the rice. One sec. I'll show you the raw rice, and then I'll show you the cooked golden rice. So like I said, raw rice looks like that, all white, of course. And then now you have your golden rice cooked. So like I said, you don't want to overcook it. You'll start to notice to overcook it when it starts to turn black. So right now, I will start making the tomato sauce, which is pretty simple. I think the sauce is the most difficult part, because if you put too much water, then you lose the flavor. And then if you put, what was it? If you put too much water, then you lose the flavor. But if you put a little bit of water, then it starts to be over seasoned. And I mean, you don't want that for your rice. You want it well balanced. Give me one sec. So what you want to do first, you want to throw in your tomatoes. Like I said, this is two whole tomatoes. But if you cut it, it will be really easier to fit into the blender. And it'll like mix it all well together too. And then you want to put in your 4 cloves of garlic. And then you want your 1 whole onion. There you go. And then you want to add like a little bit of water, not too much.
And that's for the consistency, right, Jesse? Like it's to make the consistency like good enough for the rice.
Yeah.
The water. Or else it'll be like too chunky, right? Or something like that.
What was that?
Well, if you don't put water, it'll make it chunky.
Yeah, it could be chunky. Well, it will make it chunky if you don't put water. But that's why also we have the heated up pollo to like make it well balanced and stuff.
More water.
So I would say at least half a cup of water. If not half a cup, then at least 3/4. So like it's right before the borderline of like 1 cup. So yeah.
Jesse, you have a few new people. Can you tell them what you guys are making again?
All right. If someone was talking, I know someone was talking. So it should come out like a little like orange red. But more red is okay, of course. Get that look for the rice.
Can y'all see? Okay, perfect. I'll just be waiting on Jesse.
I love this side by side, you guys.
Was that? Oh, she's doing it with me too. So, like I said, it should come out like a little orange red, a little less orange. But you could get that look for like if you wanted more red, and you will of course add more tomato to it to get that fresh red. So moving on. So remember how earlier I said like you have to have like heated up the pollo skin, the chicken skin. So what you want to do is you want to strain the water from it, because it has like a little some of the skin is like around the water, and you want to strain it. So just grab a cup, either cup, any cup, and then you just strain it separate. You want to put it in a separate container. And this is, like I said, this is what gives the flavor to the Spanish rice. Okay. So it's just basically oil in the water that like cleans it out. So how I came about with the flavored chicken water basically is you want to heat up the pot with at least like more than halfway with water, of course, and then you just grab the skin of the chicken, place it in the water, and then you put at least 2 onions and then 1 full garlic. And then like you heat that up. You let it like boil for like a cool while. You'll notice when it's fully like cooked when you get the smell of it. So it's just the smell that you'll know for sure that it's cooked. So moving on, what you want to do next? I'm gonna move this over here. Is that you have the flavored water right here. And then you have your sauce right here as well. What you want to do next is that you want to put the tomato sauce into the oil. So I have this amount. So I'll like to say that's like at least 3/4. And little by little, you just put in. Actually, I have to blend it more. It's a little bit thick. Just blend it a little more, and then like I said, we're gonna put it inside the water, and then we're gonna all put it into the oil, well the pan. So then you put it in. All right, you mix it just a little bit. So then after it's mixed, you can then put it in the rice. Turn up the flame at medium flame. Like this is my favorite part. This is the fun part. Because now you're mixing in oil with water, so you want to be careful with that. You want to add slowly because oil and water don't mix, so it may pop back. So be careful with that. Slowly add it, and you can hear it sizzle. You're probably wondering too, like, you have a heated up pan and like you're adding like the sauce to the pan. How do you measure without burning yourself? Because like I said, you don't want to add too little, otherwise your rice comes out raw, or you want to add too much and comes out mushy. My best way to measure it is I had about 3/4 of the rice in that pan, right? And I had the same amount for the sauce too, 3/4, right? So I would put a little bit extra, so a quarter more. So now I have 1 cup of sauce in there. So it's a good like measurement tool. I just add a quarter up, so then it doesn't come out too mushy or too raw. So like I said, you want to add that a little bit on medium flame. So then here comes the fun part. You want to add your caldo de pollo. Does that go like that? And you want to add at least 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon into the sauce. So about like, that much, grab a spoonful, just a spoonful. Spread it all over. And then carefully, if you want to do like a quick taste test, carefully just like grab just a little bit, and just grab it from your spoon. Just taste it to see if the flavor's right. So mine could use a little bit more of the seasoning. So I'm just gonna put like half a spoonful.
I'm curious, do you guys both use garlic salt too? Because I know at my house, like garlic salt is like a staple at my house. We put it in literally everything.
Huh.
Yes, I use garlic salt because I know that's an alternative in case you're vegetarian and you can eat chicken flavored bouillon. So yes, garlic salt also works for this.
Yeah, and the funny thing is too, I use Himalayan pink salt, so like it's like any substitute that you can find with salt, as long as like it delivers, then like you should be fine.
My mom like loves Himalayan salt too. I don't know what that's like the superior for her. That's
Yeah,
like
it is.
her go-to.
But other than that, then you want to put your lid on top of your pot, because then like you want to have all the heat and like the steam inside, so like it'll cook it. So that should take about approximately, with my amount, should take about 10-15 minutes, and then like you'll have the finished product. Like I said, it should come out like this. Should come out like that. Orange, little orange rice. But
Yes.
pretty much covers on how you make Spanish rice. It's very quick and easy, and like I said, it's a side dish, but you could also make it as the main component of your dish. Like I stated earlier with the example of arroz con pollo. So it's great. But this is my mom's recipe, so like it's good. It's good food.
That looks delicious. Thank you, Jesse.
So, what was your address again?
No.
Well done. Well done. Well done, Helen.
Thank you. You know, it was an honor, you know, co-cooking with, you know, Helen, because I know she's cooking alongside with me, virtually, not physically, you know, practicing social distancing at a good radius, so that's great.
Helen, I've been seeing a lot of your TikTok Cocinando con Helen's, and the recipes look delicious.
Thank you. I was gonna add for participants as well, if they want to submit any recipes or they want to cook with me as well, to kind of connect with me. I'll have my ASI VP email on the chat, so you can email me and connect to see if we can also continue on these recipes. For the next one, I want to make Cuban papas rellenas, so hopefully if you tune in, I'll show you how to do the picadillo recipe as well.
Ooh.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
So yes, thank you, Jesse.
Oh, thank you. Like I said, it was an honor, like just like, you know, just virtually co-cooking with you. So but yeah, that concludes the session with Cocinando con Helen.
Anyone have any questions?
Oh yes, any questions on like the whole process or like me or to Helen? You're open to the table.
Is there a particular pan that you have to use for cooking the rice at all? Or can you use like really any pan?
It depends on how much you're cooking. So for instance, I'm just making a medium pan because my mom wouldn't let me use any other pan. But if you want to make like a small portion, then yeah, you could grab like a little small pan. But I'm cooking like for only like basically just like 3 to 4 people with my rice. So that's like a good 1 cup right there. So, but it is possible with you know, just doing it with any other pan. You know, you have big rice cookers like that feed like families and such. Yeah, any pot would work. It's just like measuring water and rice. That's just what makes it difficult.
Marilyn requested if she could see the results again because she was a little late.
So right now my rice is cooking, but this is the finished product right here. So it's like more of a golden orange, and I see her clapping. Thanks, Helen. I mean, thanks, Marilyn. But yeah, like I said, it's my mom's recipe. And also this session is also recorded. So if you guys want to review and like go back and see which ingredients I used and the measurements, then of course you can go back, of course. Yeah. Any more questions, concerns, comments?
Way to go, Jason.
What was that?
Great job.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Guess that concludes the session. Yeah, it was great.
Thank you for coming out, everyone.
Stay tuned. There's a lot more cooking segments coming your way.
Yeah.
Nope.
We're excited.
Yeah.
Follow our Instagram and our social media platforms to keep updated with our events coming up and all of our Cocinando con Helen's. Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Alrighty, y'all.
Bye.
See you soon.